In Swedish, it's Lyxzén, but you can say Lyxzén, which is Lyxzén is the
Lyxzén?
Lyxzén.
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 Yeah.
Thank you.
Lyxzén, yeah. Lyxzén is the
California way.
exactly the California way.
All right, we have Dennis Lyxzén here of the band INVSN. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excited to have you here. Not only are you in the band INVSN, but you're in a band known as Refused.
Yes.
And also the International Noise Conspiracy. And that's really just a part of your world.
The tip of the iceberg of what I'm doing, or what I've been doing.
Yeah. Refused just kind of finished up touring an album. You even mentioned off air that you are in the process of another Refused album.
Yes. We put out a record called Freedom like two and a half years ago now, I guess. And then we just toured that until we got tired of touring. And then meanwhile, while we were touring with Refused, I recorded the INVSN record. And so the last Refused show for the Freedom tour was on February 3rd. And the INVSN record got released in Sweden February 12th. And it's not a coincidence. It's just how
it's all
life
planned
is.
out.
It's all planned out. So now I'm touring with INVSN for like the next year, I hope. And
okay.
In the meantime, we're writing and recording a new Refused record.
Wow. How do you do that on the road? I mean, are you writing on the road and sending back stuff? Or?
A little bit. I write lyrics and ideas on the road, but then, I mean, we don't tour all the time. So it's usually like I'll go home from this tour, and there'll be a recording session, and then I go on tour in Europe with INVSN, and then I'll come home and there'll be 2 more recording sessions. So it's just kind of like, I mean, it's a puzzle. Life is a puzzle.
Well, you make it work somehow.
I do.
You're a busy man, and I guess you never take time to... When's the last vacation you had? You even know what a vacation is?
Yeah. I actually went to New York in November last year for 5 days. Did nothing. You went to museums, ate food. That was it. That was weird for me. I had mileage, airplane mileage that
From
expired.
all your traveling? Sure.
Yeah, so I was like,
got to use it.
I got to use this. I hit up a friend. I'm like, I'm coming to New York for a couple of days. Just entertain me. We'll hang out.
Did you go flip off Trump Towers or anything?
That's every chance given.
Yes. Are you still very politically active? You're very outspoken. Have you ever thought about running for government back home?
I never thought. Well, people. So here's the deal. I think that my political activism is music, because I think that music it sort of feeds a different sort of idea, or maybe like when you're a musician or when you're an artist or any type of like artistic expression, you can exaggerate. You can say shit that's pretty outrageous, just to kind of provoke an idea or make people think. And being a politician, you can't do that.
Sure.
So I'd be a useless politician. I'm a pretty good musician, like provocateur.
Right.
And I think that that's what I want to do. I think that in a world where politics means so little and it's so devoid of ideas, I think art, culture, music has to be the bearer of ideas. And I think that just playing in a band, doing interviews, getting up on stage every night, I talk about politics every night on stage, still to this day. I think that's an important part of a political struggle, my political struggle. I try to be activist for a while. I throwing rocks at cops, or I was horrible at it. Not my thing,
Right.
Yeah.
It's best for you to be on stage, being a mouthpiece to inspire other people through your music or your dance moves.
Exactly.
How did you learn to dance? Those particular moves, you're kind of like the Swedish white boy James Brown. I don't know. There's some of that element going on for sure. Is that an inspiration?
Yeah, of course. So what happened was in the 90s, while we were like doing Refused, and we were so like, we were like a hardcore band in the hardcore scene. And I've always been one of those guys that like, if you have a club and you want me to join your club, I'm like, I'm not going to join that club, because, that type of person.
Sure.
So when people started liking our band, I got kind of turned off by the violence and the machismo attitude of hardcore. So I started wearing like dress pants. I started dancing, like, I wouldn't say goofy, but I just started dancing instead of like, moshing. And then that just stuck with me. I never trained it. I just like...
It's just who you are.
It's just like I go on stage and I let the music sort of get in me. And then some nights when I can't feel it, like my dance moves are not great. Mm-hmm. But then some nights it's just like it's
fluid.
You just flow, and then you look at the set list and I'm done. That was it. It was so easy.
Yeah.
So it just took a matter of like getting in the moment, getting in the music. I think music is, for me, it's life. It's what I know how to do, and I'm one of those. I'm pretty sure I'm one of those people that if it weren't for music, I would not be a functioning human being. And like we all have diagnoses and we all have our demons and issues, and I made this work. Like I made a niche for myself where I can be as crazy as I am, and people are like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm like, if you only knew. So it's a good. I mean, that's if I didn't have the music and have that outlet, I don't know, I'd lose my mind.
It's kind of like
for
for me here, what I get to do for a band like you, or even all the local bands that I work with here in San Diego. It's I just don't know where else I'd be. I feel blessed.
Yeah.
We're both blessed in our own way.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing. So INVSN, INVSN, there was an original version of it with a different name, more in Scandinavian or in Swedish?
Yeah, it was in Swedish. The
how do you say
first
that?
2 records we did were in Swedish and were called INVSN.
Okay.
Which is Swedish for the invasion.
The invasion.
And then when we did the last record and we're like, okay, we're gonna, it's gonna be international, and we're like, we can't be called Invasion. Like I mean, that's a bit corny, and Vin and Vincent did that years ago, and and then our drummer just said, let's just spell it INVSN. We can be called Invasionen in Sweden and Invasion over here, and it's just like, it's not,
It works. Did you release an album then that was in English and in Swedish?
Yeah, the last one we did.
Okay.
Not this one. This one is only in English. But
I got to get that one.
It was so much work. It was so much work for me to do both lyrics to like 2 different languages, but also sing to you do the vocal takes, and then you're like, okay, you're done, but now in Swedish, and you're like, oh man. But it changes. I even on this new record, I wrote a lot of songs in Swedish because it changes the melodies and the phrasing, because it is different. I mean, Swedish is a very melodic language, and when you write in Swedish, and I try to adapt those melodies into English, it sounds very different than when I write straight to English.
Right.
So and also, I mean, Swedish is. I mean, I'm a decent conversationalist in English, but Swedish is my first language. So of course, when you write, there's no filter. Now I have to sort of think about like not making a fool out of myself.
Right.
Yeah.
This is kind of like your Joy Division Bauhaus thing. I mean, that's kind of a connection I get with. There's a darker tone, a post-punk feel to this band, right?
For sure,
is that kind of where you're going from? And originally this started as a folk project?
Well, I mean, I think that's an exaggeration. Years and years ago, I did a folk project that was called The Lost Patrol that morphed into the Lost Patrol band, which was a power pop band. And Andre, the drummer, and Anders, the guitar player, was a part of Lost Patrol band. Okay. And so it's like, it's more, I mean, it would be like, we wouldn't do anyone a favor by saying it started as that. But I mean, Invasion, we started, I mean, it's a couple of years ago, like 9 years now when we started. And the first record we did in Swedish is kind of like punk, Swedish punk. Sure. And then the second record already we're just like a budget version of Joy Division. And then the third, and now we've kind of found our own thing, and like the percussive nature of it, and Sarah and Kiki singing, it's like a different thing. Yeah. But when we started, it was like, more punky Joy Division-esque type
And now
of music.
you're covering Lana Del Rey.
Yes, we are.
That's a new single, actually.
Yeah,
you just released that. What is that for, and why Lana Del Rey?
Well,
I love Lana Del Rey.
Yeah, I was not that familiar with her, and a friend of mine started talking about it. I looked into it. And I'm like, there's something very interesting about like her, the dual nature of like the glamorous aspect of what she does and the dark undercurrent of America. Because it's a lot about like the outcasts and the misfits and like the freaks and drug users, and that's an interesting aspect of America. And then what happened was that we did a thing for Swedish radio actually, and one of the things is like they'll have indie artists come in and do like a cover tune of a rotation track. Okay. And I was like, that's such a horrible idea. Like it should be the opposite. Lana Del Rey should do a cover of us. Sure. But then we looked at him, and actually our tour manager Robin said, maybe you should do the new Lana Del Rey thing. It's pretty awesome. And we listened to it, and I'm like, yeah, we can do a good version. I think the lyrics really connected with me because she's singing about like, looking at the kids and like, why aren't you like, taking the baton? Why aren't you like, getting involved? And I thought it was a beautiful song. And then, it was like an unexpected move to record a Lana Del Rey song.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, we played Riot Fest the other day, and I thought of that when we were playing the song. I'm like, maybe this is the first and only time a Lana Del Rey song will, come out of the speakers at Riot Fest. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. Yeah,
she could probably play that. I don't know. She has a hip factor to her.
Yeah, she does.
I don't know. I mean, she's got a lot of work done on her face. You ever had any work done?
No, no.
I couldn't imagine.
Not
you would.
yet.
Not yet. So, Is Invasion a political band? I mean, International Noise Conspiracy, that was kind of a basis for it. Invasion, it's just music? What's the message of the band?
I mean, it's a very political band, but I think it's one of those deals where at this point in life, I can't differentiate between the politics, myself, and the music. It's the same thing.
Sure.
Like, whenever I write songs, they're so, played by me and my ideas, so it would definitely like shine through all the time. I mean, the latest record is a very, very strong feminist sort of agenda. I mean, we have 2 women in the band, and I mean, that song we did, Mizzou, when they sing, it's about the patriarchal system sang from a female perspective, you know, and how destructive the patriarchal system is. And so we have a lot of that. I mean, it's still very, very political. And on stage every night, I talk a lot of politics, and it's just
who
like
you are.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's who I am. It's not like. I mean, maybe there's a point like 20 years ago it was a bit contrived, like, oh, I'm going to be political. But then when you are that person, it's just who you are.
It's important because not enough. I mean, artists today, they don't.
They're
these millennial bands, they're too.
They're
They
cowards.
buy the system. They're cowards. They want to sell records, and they're not going to speak out about anything anymore.
No, not
We're losing
anything.
that.
Yeah,
It's kind of sad.
And I mean, when I got into punk, 2 things. When you got into punk, in the 80s, first of all, it was dangerous. It was like if you went to a punk show, you're like, shit can go down.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen at these shows. And the second of all, it was rebel music. Like, it was like everyone that was there was an outcast. Everyone that was there was like, I mean, not like politically, maybe intellectually political.
Right.
But music was a platform for revolution, for rebellion, for revolt. And that was like how I discovered music. It was like music was, music for the others, like rock, punk rock. It was always about rebellion. And then I think one of the things that happened is that music is a very powerful force, and that's why it's become diluted into just pop. Because it's like, if you have stuff to, I mean, just remember, you remember when Rage Against the Machine came, how powerful that was.
Yeah.
And I mean, they were like on a major label, and we're punks, and we're like, wow, this is pretty. I mean, it was a game changer.
Sure.
But then now it's like, don't talk about politics. Like, Beyonce is like the most political artist out there, which is I mean, that's fine, but it's a bit weird that even going to punk shows nowadays, even playing Riot Fest, there's not a single band that talked about a single political issue. And we're in America 2017.
And I would imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just weird how scared people are to speak out. I think, and they're afraid they're gonna alienate anybody.
Yes.
And that's too bad because where we are right now, I think a lot of people need to speak out. Those are some of the people we look forward to do that for us, to inspire. And you do a great job of that. You're not even an American,
I know.
But yet here you are making your observations of our political situation, everything that's going on, and you have things to say about it. And people can think about it, and hopefully, just besides the music, they have something to think about and might make a change in their own lives. And I think you're trying to inspire people. That's important.
Yeah, and I think it's important. I mean, a lot of people might take issue with, oh, he's a Swedish person. Why is he talking about? But I mean, first of all, anything that happens here affects everyone. That's just the power of America.
Yeah.
But also coming from the outside, you have a different perspective. You can see things differently. Like, you can see like, wow, this is, for me, that's really strange. But then when we play in Germany, we talk about the German political system. Or when we play in Sweden, we talk about the Swedish political system. Because that's what you do. Like, you come into the country and you talk about what's wrong with the world right now. I mean, coming to America, I jokingly say this on stage every night, it's so easy right now. It's like we just show up and people are like, yeah, I'm sorry, But I mean, and also another thing, I'm not the guy that goes on stage and be like, I have the truth. But these are ideas. As you said, it's like, it's music should be a platform where we can exchange ideas and we can be like, oh, that's what you're thinking. Oh, that's interesting. Exactly. I don't fully agree, but it's interesting, and you have an interesting take on that. And I think that's what music and art should be. And when I say stuff, I mean, it's just my ideas. It's ideas that I have, and I'm like, this is what I'm thinking about right now.
I'd rather hear from you than the internet. The internet has been great for many things, but it's also ruined things for me. And then smartphone has ruined things. Like, people are losing touch with everything.
Yes.
So music and what you do and the live performance and the energy you give off to the crowds is amazing. And I feel like I'm part of the show when I'm at any one of your bands. And luckily I've seen majority of them. Stoked to get to see Invasion again. And let's see, when will we next see you in the States then? So Invasion's going to continue this tour. Refused might come back again?
Refuse is coming back, but I would say that's like in a year's time,
Yeah,
probably.
okay.
And
I can only handle you once or twice a year.
yeah,
Dennis.
well, that seems about reasonable.
You could play here
for
locally. I'd be
everyone.
happy.
Yeah. I would say that if this tour does well, if radio starts playing our music, we're a DIY, we're a small band.
Yeah,
We play. We don't. There's not a lot of people at our shows, and it's like a work in progress. But the ambition with INVSN is, of course, to come back and tour,
Sure.
and gradually
to help.
grow. Yeah.
Trying to do my part.
If you're doing your part and we do our part, I think we'll be back next year with INVSN to tour, and then after that, come back with Refused. And
Cool.
I mean,
Keep you busy.
they gave me. I tour the States a lot. So a couple of years ago, the American government, which is crazy, they gave me a work visa. They said, well, you can do whatever. We're so tired of having you come into the visa office all the time. They gave me like a 3-year work permit, and everyone that I play with. So they're just like, yeah, just give this guy like.
And even as outspoken, that's interesting, right?
Yeah,
there would have been a time, maybe a guy like you would not be allowed into America because of your outspoken political views. But what's really interesting is in my history, I think I remember first seeing a Refused video before I even heard of the band. So I see the video. I get really involved in the local music community here. I discover a band called The Locust, but then in backtracking, I also discover another band called Swing Kids.
Yes.
And I listen to Swing Kids, and I listen to Refused, and I'm like, this is weird. Here's this band from Sweden and this band from San Diego, and they're connected to me, and I felt something was going on in two different parts of the world. And Justin Pearson of that band and Locust and 31G, you guys are very similar type characters. I really enjoy being able to call both of you now my friends.
Yeah.
But it's kind of neat. You've actually hung out with JP from the Locust before?
Yeah. We the first 2 times the Locust came to Europe, I booked their Scandinavian dates. And Noise Conspiracy did a short tour with the Locust. This is like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And they were like the Swing Kids 7-inch definitely made the rounds back home in Umeå. And the Locust, we liked the Locust. They were so, because there was a time when we got kind of tired of hardcore. Mm-hmm. Like the metalists, and they came and we're like, oh, this is kind of a breath of fresh air because it's just insanity. So we have history.
I love that. That is amazing. San Diego.
Yeah, I met him the other day. He was playing with Dead Cross at Riot Fest, and
that's another exciting story.
Yeah,
Dave Lombardo from Slayer and Mike Patton. No big deal, right?
No big deal at all.
Not at all. Dennis, thank you so much for hanging out, doing this session. You're welcome to come hang out with us anytime here.
Sweet. I will take you up on that.
Definitely.
Cool.
I'm a huge fan of what you do, so thank you again.
Thank you. Awesome. Thanks.